Well, it's been a big term for charities. We've appointed a new head of the Charities Commission. We've reformed the deductible gift recipient system for a range of different charities, including harm prevention and overseas aid charities. We've protected charitable advocacy and we've worked with states and territories on harmonising charitable fundraising. The next term would be focused on implementing the recommendations of the two big reports we've had handed down. The Productivity Commission's recommendations around better reforming our charitable deductibility status and the blueprint, which includes recommendations around charitable advocacy and the like. We've also will need to set about legislating a range of the reforms that we've announced. Reforms such as getting rid of the $2 donation threshold and putting in place protections for the Charities Commissioner to be able to talk about investigations where that's strongly in the public interest. We've got a big and ambitious charity agenda reflected in our ambition to double philanthropic giving by 2030.
Now, obviously, there was some talk today about some of the frustrations around how long it takes for some of these reforms to be enacted. Is there anything that you can do to increase that pace or push through some of those changes that people are so hungry for?
Well, the first thing to be said is that we face a choice between a government strongly committed to supporting charitable advocacy and charities, and an opposition whose track record in government was to be driving the car backwards. Under us, the reform agenda will continue in a calm, methodical and consultative approach. We respect charities, we value the work they do, and we recognise the public square is strengthened by the voices of Australia's informed charities. We've had all of the states and territories agree to reform blueprints on charitable fundraising harmonisation, and all but two have passed the necessary legislation through their parliament. That's a reform that had been sitting on the shelf for decades before we came to office, which we've now done. You look at the reforms that we've done in terms of providing more diversity to the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profits Commission Advisory Board, putting state and territory representatives on that board, getting youth representation called and First Nations representation, and having the Charities Commission headed by Sue Woodward, somebody who's a strong backer of charities, in contrast to Gary Johns, who had made his career as a charities critic. That's the difference between Labor and Liberal on the issue of charities. We back and support charities. The Coalition right now are trying to strip charities of their charitable status. We need to get a whole lot of reforms through in order to help the charity and not-for-profit sector. We've got the reports done. Now's the time for action, and that legislative action will happen more speedily under a majority government.